Welcome to Lavelli Field in Hudson, Ohio. We're getting ready to kick off the 1998 high school football season between the Wadsworth Grizzlies and the Hudson Explorers. Hi again, everybody. I'm John Bernard, your voice of the Grizzlies. Wadsworth in 1997 finished 8-2, and they were 6-1 in the Suburban League. Hudson, however, was only 1-9. They were 0-5 in the Western Reserve South. Now, the Wadsworth Grizzlies had some major graduation losses over the past season. They're only returning 2 starters from last year, 1 each on offense and defense. However, look for running backs Dave Lance and Dan Marino to pile up the yardage on the ground. That's going to be Wadsworth's main attack this year. And Mike Hoover, the junior, will be at the helm. Hudson, however, they rely on their defense. They have great size and strength and plenty of experience. The defense for them is what's going to keep them in the ball game. Tonight, a little something different for you WCTV viewers. The Hudson Community Television Station is going to be bringing the game to you tonight. However, the WCTV crew will be bringing you the remaining 9 games on the season schedule. So we hope you stay tuned for those games and hope you enjoy them. So we'll be back at halftime for a little update on the score and maybe a couple of stats.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 1998 Hudson Explorer football season. Tonight's opponent from Wadsworth, the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies will be kicking off to the Explorers. Back deep for Hudson, number 9, Josh Holden, and number 41, Matt Urbanek. This broadcast kicks off 5 broadcasts this year, as we'll broadcast all Hudson Explorer home football games. Added to our television coverage this year will be several Hudson High School field hockey games. And we're off with the 1998 season. Short kick by Wadsworth, picked up by one of the Hudson upmen, brought up over the 30-yard line, and Hudson will put it in play first time in 1998 from their own 33-yard line. Joining me again this evening for the 2nd year in a row is my partner, Scott Polachek, and we're looking forward to spending these 5 home football games with you. Hudson will start off on offense. We'll try to get that starting lineup for you here in the next play or 2.
We heard Coach Narducci mention that Wadsworth is a very physical team. And you mentioned to me before the game that this is one of the quickest Hudson teams you've seen in a while. Be interesting to see how Hudson comes out here. Do they go with their speed, or they try and match up and pound the ball inside and try and match up physically with them, see where they stand?
Well, one of the things that's impressed the Hudson coaches so far this year is this team has worked very hard in the preseason. They're a strong bunch, a good-sized group in addition to their speed, so they should do very well. Opening handoff proves to be a success as Hudson's number 39, Joe Wittenberg, takes the ball off tackle. Looked like a quick trap, taking the ball for about a 15-yard gain, taking it all the way up to the Hudson 45-yard line.
Linebacker Josh Busson was there on the stop, one of the team leaders at inside linebacker for the Wadsworth Grizzlies.
Try to set the Hudson offense across the offensive line of scrimmage at right tackle. Number 74, Ryan Bennett. The guard is number 75, Luke Laboda. The center, Mark Strelka, 55. The left guard is Eddie Wagner, number 70, and the left tackle is Jake Grassley, number 79. First down play for the Explorers. Nets about 1 on the play, be second down and 9. Looking at the tight end for Hudson starting off this year is number 81, Tom Enright. The split end, number 33, Tim Ryan, and he's joined at flanker by number 8, Gary Beckley. The fullback, as we already mentioned, is Joe Wittenberg, number 39. Tailback is Josh Holden, number 9, and this year starting at quarterback, number 14, Phil Dysart. Looks like the Explorers, Scott, came with a delay on second down play there. Josh was able to pop by one tackler, but a couple of Wadsworth Grizzlies able to catch up to him and limit the gain to about a half yard on the play.
Holden was close to breaking that. The offensive line let the defensive line in, and if it wasn't for an ankle tackle by Ryan Finn, Holden could have broke that one for at least a first down.
Wadsworth sets their defense in a 5 look.
Blitz coming outside.
Nice roll and throw by Phil Dysart, completing the pass out there to number 81, Tom Enright, for a first down.
And nice in there is Chris Brown, a 6'3" junior at 197 defensive end, was bearing down on him pretty quickly from the outside.
Expectation from the Hudson coaching staff is that Wadsworth will come out and angle quite a bit and blitz a little bit and give us a little bit of a 4-3 look from time to time as well. Looks like an option around the left side. Dysart takes the ball, keeps it himself, carries it around the corner, picks up about 4 yards on the play.
John Schmiel, the one who dragged them down there by the shoulders.
Quarterback Phil Dysart is in his second year as the starting quarterback for the Explorers. He plays free safety defensively. I don't know that Coach Narducci will use him much on defense. Excuse me, Phil is the son of David and Wendy Dysart, has a real fine 3.3 grade average, and is really involved in football and lacrosse.
Holden, sorry.
Pitch there over to Josh Holden, takes it around the left side, and he picks up pretty good yardage, probably leaving the Explorers with about a third down and a yard, maybe a little short of a yard.
Hudson doing a real nice job of driving the ball here inside the 30-yard line already, just about at the 21. Very good time-consuming drive, keeping the ball out of the Grizzlies' big play offense.
That's one of the things Coach Narducci wanted to really do tonight, was control the football. Eliminate the mistakes and turnovers, certainly, but control the football, have a nice long drive, and let's see if we put one in the end zone right here. As Holden goes around the left side, breaks a tackle, and finds his way into the end zone to take the Explorers down to a 6-0 lead, and a real fine drive. It's taken about almost 3 minutes.
And Holden got a real nice block from left guard Ed Wagoner, number 70, just about flattened his man that swung the hole open for Holden, and he squirted through, and he's got 6.
On for the extra point is Hudson starting flanker, number 8, Gary Beckley. And the kick is up and good. The Explorers start off the 1998 season on their first offensive drive with a touchdown.
Very nice drive, mixed it up a little, proved to Wadsworth that they're going to be able to run the ball inside on them, and also, if they key on the run, Dysart's going to light them up down the middle.
Absolutely, and going back to Phil Dysart, as we talked about before, started 9 of the 10 games last year, threw for over 900 yards, and really had a fine year only as a junior. Now, as a senior, certainly the Explorers are expecting great things out of their quarterback and leader.
I remember towards the end of the season last year, he was a little banged up.
I think a lot of them were banged up towards the end of last year's season. It was a tough one for all these gentlemen.
Never gave up, though.
Now Wadsworth will have their first attempt at the ball. Last year, the Grizzlies were 8-2, were 6-1 in the Suburban League, but they really lost a bunch as they return only 2 starters, 1 on offense and 1 on defense. But it's typical situation. Wadsworth always seems to be loaded with seniors with little experience, but they always seem to play very well. They're coached by Greg Dennison. He's in his 4th year with the Grizzlies.
They are among the league favorites again this year.
As Hudson lines up to kick off, again, number 8, Gary Beckley, will be doing the kicking. And Gary sends the ball down to the 15-yard line. Ball taken there by Wadsworth, number 21, Ryan Gasser, and Ryan moves the ball up from the 15 to about the 30-yard line. That's where Wadsworth will begin this offensive series. Given an opportunity here, we'll set the Explorer defense for you. The down defensive lineman will be defensive tackle Todd Eisen, number 76. The nose guard, Ryan Bennett, 74. The defensive ends will be Brett Amici, 87, and Eddie Wagner, number 70. Wadsworth quarterback with a long count gives to his tailback for a big gainer over the right side of the Explorer defensive line.
Number 7, Dan Marino on the carry.
And we'll look at the Explorer linebackers right now. Starting for the Explorers in the outside linebacker slots will be number 19, Tim Cummings, and number 89, Eli Shibley. The inside linebackers, number 44, Perry Morton, and number 54, Elliot Wyan.
Wide open tight end.
Quick pop pass, tight end's wide open. Big gainer for Wadsworth. Knocked down on the play by number 25, Greg Todd. And to give you the rest of that Explorer defense, the secondary people, Matt Urbanek and Greg Todd, share the cornerback duties, and the free safety is number 40, Bill Green.
Quarterback Mike Hoover found a wide open tight end, Chris Brink, number 89, open over the middle. And Wadsworth marching right back, trying to answer.
Give back to the tailback. This time the Explorer is able to stall that tailback, number 7, Dan Marino, at the line of scrimmage.
Todd Eisen among a wall of Hudson Explorer tacklers.
Wadsworth come out of the huddle. Marino, the tailback, really sets back almost 7 yards from the line of scrimmage. Get a good look at the line of scrimmage, pick his hole and go. 3-step drop, quick drop by the quarterback, number 12, Mike Hoover. Mike throws the ball out there to the right on a quick out pattern, a little bit wide, incomplete, and it looks like 3rd down for the Grizzlies and about 9 to go.
It's looking for Matt West. Nice coverage on the play. He's either going to have to throw it out of bounds or it was probably going to be picked off.
Third down play here for the Grizzlies into a shotgun formation.
Ooh, there's Brink again.
Big tight end once again over the middle of the field. An outstanding throw by the quarterback. And took the shotgun snap, took a couple of steps back, stood up tall, and really fired it in there.
You know, watching Hoover from the shotgun, you really realize how tall he is. The kid is 6'4". He can see right over that line, and he was able to thread the needle right there to his tight end, Chris Brink. That is one of his favorite targets. Hudson has to keep a body on him.
This time give to the fullback.
24, David Lance.
And Lance is a powerful-looking runner as he dragged a couple of Explorers forward for a few yards on the play, even though the Hudson defense seemed to have things stopped up. The Explorers, of course, are coming off a very difficult season, as 1997 saw them go 1-9, 0-5 in the Western Reserve Conference. 4th year head coach Tom Narducci's overall record here in Hudson is 15-17. 2 years ago, of course, the Explorers went to the state playoffs, defeating St. Ed's in the first round of the playoffs, eventually losing to St. Ignatius in the regional championship. Looking to bring some of that magic back to the Explorers this year, certainly, is this group of Explorer football players. Another completed pass by the Grizzlies, bringing the ball inside the 10-yard line, down actually to the 6-yard line. 1st and goal for the Grizzlies from that spot.
A nice job of Mike Hoover doing a little play action and finding Adam Copeland, number 83, another junior on this team.
Knifing right through there is Elliott Ryan, number 54, our inside linebacker. Elliott read that very well. Looks like he struck right between the C and D gap and was able to knock down Marino for a little loss on the play.
Loss of 2 on the play. 2nd down and goal from the 7-yard line.
The Grizzlies facing a 2nd and goal from the 7. Hudson trying to hang in here, stay tough. Hudson stacking the line of scrimmage, looking for a handoff. They get an inside handoff. And David Lance has had two carries so far, and he's just carried the ball and a couple tacklers with him.
Once again, he had to be dragged down by several Hudson Explorer defenders.
David Lance, 5'10" senior, goes 184, also plays outside linebacker.
3rd down, ball on the 4-yard line here.
Stacked formation in the backfield. They put Lance as the far man, and he gets the carry.
All right. He gets in there. 2nd effort by Lance on the play there. He stopped initially at about the 2-yard line, kept on driving his legs, got a little bit of room, stuck that ball over the goal line. Touchdown for the Grizzlies. Score 7-6.
They took David Lance, who's usually their starting fullback, and made him the deep man in the stacked wishbone. And once again, hard running by this kid. Took a couple tacklers with him and needed a 2nd effort to get into the end zone.
Number 10 on for the Grizzlies to attempt the extra point. Sam Golpert. Kick is up, and it's perfect. And after only 7 minutes of play in this 1998 season, the Explorers and the Grizzlies are knotted at 7. Defensively there, the Explorers seemed to look like they got to the places they were supposed to be, but it didn't look like they tackled as well as they certainly would have liked there, and leaving some big gaps and some big holes in the defense and allowing the Grizzlies to answer that Explorer offensive drive with the drive of their own.
David Lance scores the first touchdown for the Wadsworth Grizzlies in the 1998 season, showing a little bit of that physical power game that Wadsworth shows that Coach Narducci talked about in the beginning of the game, in the pregame.
Scott, once again, we've got a packed house here on the home side. The Explorer fans are really out tonight. It's a beautiful night for football, and why not bring everybody out from all over town? And it's always great to see the whole community out supporting Hudson Athletics. And briefly speaking of Hudson Athletics, an outstanding week this week, as all teams had an excellent week. The field hockey team got a win this week, as did the boys soccer team, the girls soccer team, the cross country team, the golf team also picked up the victory, as did the volleyball team.
Flags
all over the place. Get the official call. Ball is initially spotted down on the 32. The indication by the official is a block in the back. Illegal block by the Explorers. That'll back them up and have them start their offensive series, a few yards behind where they thought they were going to. While the officials determine where the ball will be spotted. Big penalty against the Explorers. Going to move the ball all the way inside the 15-yard line. They're going to start on the 13-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Explorers. Pitch to Josh Holden over the right side. Josh, a senior, last year started at fullback and free safety. Of the offensive running game this year. Last year was second team all conference. And Josh is a big, strong, fast young guy.
It's almost like we never left.
The seasons do come back in a hurry. This time Josh on the breakaway.
He's got a lot of room.
One block, he can go. And he does break it away. Josh is going to outrun the Grizzly defense. And he's going to take it all the way to the end zone. No flags down. Touchdown Hudson. Well, I'll tell you what, Josh timed out this year in about 4.5 in a 40-yard dash, and he's nearly 200 pounds, and he bench presses over 300 pounds, and he just outran the defense there.
He sure showed it. The only guy that had a chance to stop him was number 22, Pat McCarthy. You know, when Holden saw him coming, taking an angle at him, he just turned it on.
Well, the Explorers demonstrated right there that they will answer. They give up the score and they come back in a matter of seconds and put one on the board themselves. Just to give you a little bit of information about Josh, as we look at this kick go up by Gary Beckley. It's up and it's good. Josh, of course, is the offensive tailback, is an outside linebacker defensively. Josh, about a 3.3 student, is very active in the school in several volunteer areas. He's a member of the Hudson PTSA, Student Volunteer Board. He's a member of FCA, and he was a delegate at this year's Buckeyes Boys State. Josh has got some interesting college choices. Among those, right at the top of the list, he is considering very seriously the United States Military Academy at West Point, and he's also thinking about Miami and Ohio Wesleyan. So Josh is not only a fine football player, but certainly has demonstrated that he's a fine person and an outstanding student.
You know, with him and Dysart in the backfield, both carrying 3.3 averages, they could be the smartest backfield in the area.
Could be the smartest backfield in the Western Reserve Conference, that's for sure. We should probably try to look up and see how Joe Wittenberg stacks up with those guys.
Number 7, Dan Marino, and number 21, Ryan Gosser.
And the kickoff by Beckley goes out of bounds, and we get a flag, and that'll start the ball off on the 35 for the Grizzlies.
Now it's up to the Hudson defense to see if they can stop this powerful Wadsworth Grizzly offense. And it'll be the interesting to see the way Greg Dennison comes out, whether he sticks with the running of Lance, or if he's going to go to the air and test the strong arm of Mike Hoover, junior quarterback who was the signal caller for the JV squad last year.
Grizzlies with the give to their fullback. Breaks a tackle, and he's off to the races.
It's that guy Lance again.
And number 87 for the Explorers, Brett Amici, able to make the tackle on that play after a long gain again. We were talking briefly a minute ago about the Hudson Explorer offensive backfield and their grade point average, and I'll tell you what, Joe Wittenberg matches right up with them as he's about a 3-point student.
Maybe that's one of the requirements to be a starter in the backfield.
We'll have to check with Coach Narducci and ask him about that. This time give to the tailback. Finds a little bit of room up the middle. The Explorer defense swarms around him. Led there by number 74, Ryan Bennett on the tackle.
Up close to the 40-yard line.
We can't forget about this guy, Dan Marino, not the quarterback from the Miami Dolphins, but the running back for the Wadsworth Grizzlies, because he was a guy that was, quote unquote, supposed to carry the load for him at the beginning of the season. That's what all the proverbial experts said. And if we key on and if the Explorer defense keys on Lance, this kid could have himself a really big ball game.
Difficult not to key on David Lance right now, as he's really breaking tackles, making things very difficult for the Explorers.
Who came up with that one?
Outstanding play. Pick off there. Picked off by Bill Green. I'll tell you what. Ball intended for Chris Brink was just a rocket. And Bill went up there and battled the bigger and taller opponent and came down with the football and gives the Explorers the ball back here, still with about 3:10 to go in the first period on the 16-yard line.
And Chris Brinko's 6'3", almost 200 pounds.
Well, Bill Green's forte is supposed to be speed. Is the fastest guy on the Hudson squad, but that time he demonstrated some strength as he wrestled that ball right away.
Sure did. He out-muscled him.
Alternating in with the play for the Explorers right now, number 33, Tim Ryan. Number 27, Mike Johnson enters the game.
At the 19-yard line.
Johnson coupled with number 44, Perry Morton in the backfield. A quick roll by Dysart around the right side. Pitched the ball over to Morton, overthrew him just a little bit. Well-conceived play, but it's going to be a third down play for the Explorers. Ryan Bennett is one of the Explorers who goes both ways. Big number 74 plays offensive and defensive tackle. Big, strong guy. Ryan benches over 300 pounds. He tested out this year bench pressing 310 pounds. I do believe, Scott, that this is the strongest group of Hudson Explorer football players that I've been able to watch over the last 14 or so years. This group is really very strong. And once again, Holden breaks it up over the right side, able to turn it upfield and pick up good yardage one more time, probably about 12 or 15 yards on the play. And right now, Josh seems to be having his way with the Explorer defense, or with the Grizzly defense.
Credit the Hudson offensive line. They're controlling the line of scrimmage right now. And this time, Pat McCarthy was able to run down Josh Holden. Able to get a handful of jersey and drag him down. Another first down for the Explorers.
Tackle trap play kind of exploded on the Explorers there as the Grizzly defense collapsed around the pulling tackle, number 79, Jake Gressley, and around the center position, and dropped the Hudson running back for a loss on the play.
See how the Wadsworth defense comes out for this play. That play, they came out and loaded the line of scrimmage with 6 men up there.
Loss of 1 on the play. Makes it second down.
I think they're going to go with a 5-3 right now.
Yeah, they're down in that 5-2 still. It looks like that's 6. Once again, Wadsworth sniffed out the Hudson running game. Another loss on the play. That time the ball given to Joe Wittenberg. Hudson's number 84, Jeff Panhorse, has entered the game. And Jeff splits out there to the left. Lone flankers, 2 tight end set. Holden joins him in motion. Roll left. Dysart being pursued by some Grizzlies, and he took it on both sides. He took one in the back, one in the front. Got sandwiched there. Nice gain, though, by Phil. Not quite going to be enough for a first down, and we're going to see our first punt of 1998.
So the Grizzlies defense comes up big and stops the Hudson Explorers.
That was probably an important series for the Wadsworth defense, coming off the turnover there and not having stopped the Explorers in the first 2 drives. They had to make a statement there, and they did a nice job of it. Nice punt.
Oh, his knee was down. Good call by the official, right on it. Matt West caught that ball with his knee on the ground. And in high school football, you're down right there. You cannot advance the ball from there.
Absolutely. As we look at the end of the first quarter here, with this play, we'll be ending the first quarter. And when we end the first quarter, we're going to be taking just a short break, and we'll be right back with you. But first, let's see what Wadsworth has in mind here. First down and 10. Pretty good field position on their own 34-yard line. I'll check that, make it to 32. give to Lance. I think that's the first time tonight the Explorers were able to bottle him up with the. And that's going to end our first quarter, and we're going to go to break, and we'll be right back with you for the beginning of the second quarter play.
Okay. He had to adjust the camera. That was done because the lights are now taking effect.
You're on it. I'll fill as best I can.
And we're just about ready to start the second quarter here. Hudson holding on to a 14-7 lead. Wadsworth with the ball. Mike Hoover leads his team out. Lance and Marino in the backfield. Hoover with a long count. Rolling far side. Looking's got to keep the ball. Being pursued nicely by Hudson. This play will go for about 5 or 6 yards. Bring up a second and about 6.
Give Hoover a little credit there. He was penned in pretty well and made a decision to bring the ball back inside and at least dive for a couple of yards. Otherwise, he would have been stopped on the play. So it was a good heads-up football play by Mike Hoover.
Matt West comes near side towards us. Hoover looking on the far side. Now comes back up the middle, and great coverage by the Hudson Explorers.
Tripped up there on the far side. It looked like it was Ryan Bennett. Ryan with the big tackle. Nice play by the big senior.
It's one of those coverage sacks. As Hudson secondary came up big, Hoover had a little bit of time, but he had nobody to throw it to. That's going to force a punt. Hudson defense stepping up once again.
Back deep for the Explorers. Number 27, Mike Johnson. I can't get the far side number yet. Maybe you can help me out, Scott.
It's like 88.
Fair catch by number 88, Jess Stalza.
So pretty decent field position to start this possession for the Hudson offense. See if they come out with that little counter trap where Holden goes towards the outside. It's worked twice for him, and they won't be doing that. It's looks like, well, that's number 8 coming near side. Gary Beckley, there goes Holden in motion. Tyson all sorts of time looking deep down the middle.
Boy.
He's got a man and throw a flag on that.
There it is, absolutely. Number 2 of the Wadsworth Grizzlies just held and tackled Gary Beckley, and that's going to be a definite pass interference against the Grizzlies there. And perhaps that was a good play by Wadsworth's number 2, Matt Ford, because Gary was running by him, and certainly it's the best Hudson could get out of it as a 15-yard penalty rather than the long touchdown play. So maybe not the best play by Wadsworth's score, but at the same time, maybe not the worst decision he could have made in that circumstance.
Ball near midfield or just over midfield. And this is what Hudson wanted to do, talking to the coach during the week. limit your mistakes and capitalize on theirs.
As they sort things out, we had an opportunity this week or earlier today to meet with Coach Narducci and his 4 captains this year, and they were quite an engaging bunch of fellas, had a lot to say and a lot of good things to say about the team this year and certainly their chances in the Western Reserve Conference. They were certainly a pleasure to work with and to have an opportunity to talk with. And this year the Explorer captains are Tom Enright, number 81, Josh Holden, number 9, Mike Zuka, and I believe Mike's number is number, I have to check it here, number 61, and Matt.
Oh. Dicer tried a quick hitter to the outside. He was looking for Eli Shibley. Nice job of defense by one of the outside linebackers of the Wadsworth Grizzlies. Able to get a hand up, knock that pass away, bring up a 2nd down and 10. Shibley did have a step on his man inside. Dicer pitch to Holden. Comes near, comes far side. He's able to get the 1st down. Ran out of bounds. My number 22, that's Pat McCarthy. McCarthy, the 5'10" junior.
The other Explorer captain we forgot to mention before is Matt Jones.
After that big run, or there's 2 big runs by Holden, if he's not careful, he's dangerously going to have himself a 100-yard first half. Now he comes to the sideline to get a quick break. Dicer, play action, looking, in trouble, has to keep it. Able to get a few yards out of that one. Heavily pursued by number 77, Ian Forsman. Dicer with the backfield in the eye. Gives to the deep man, number 27. It's Mike Johnson getting the carry. Bring up about a 5.
Well, so far, Scott, it seems like the Explorers are controlling the football as the game plan indicated earlier, as they have had the advantage here offensively as far as controlling the ball and moving the football down the field.
Play action to Holden. Dicer, he's got room, he's going to keep it. Close to a 1st down, we'll see where they spot the ball, and then a late flag comes flying in. Possibly a face mask or a hold.
Nice block out there by big number 39, Joe Wittenberg.
And this play is gonna come back as penalty was on Hudson.
The hold. How about you, Scott?
No, I missed it also. So did the standing room only crowd here at Lavelli Field. As usual, always a packed house here.
Well, the 1st down gain becomes a 3rd and 9 for the Explorers.
Dicer sends Holden in motion to the far side. He's going to roll that way, and look, fires and hits his tight end. Nice diving catch. That's Tom Enright. Unfortunately, it's going to be short of a first down, and you could be in 4-down territory here.
Looks like he's setting his punt team in there, maybe try to pin the Grizzlies back.
Weston Marino deep to receive this kick, and Wadsworth is going to set up return.
Back deep in punt formation was
they called a fair catch. Marino called for a fair catch and then lost it, and then that's a live ball. He was able to cover it up though, so that's where Wadsworth will start at about their 20-yard line.
Coach Narducci's strategy there is to force the Grizzlies to go the length of the field if they're going to try to tie this ball game. Speaking of coaches, the Hudson assistant coaches again this year. Assistants for the Explorers are Mike Holden, defensive coordinator Jeff Brown, Jeff Hildebrand, Joe Caniglia, and Bob Madden. That's the Explorer assistant coaching staff.
And I don't think the coaching staff is very happy right now. It looks like we're going to kick over.
Looks like we're going to take another look at this punt. Apparently a penalty against the Grizzlies brings the ball up. And Bill Green lets it fly once again. This time caught cleanly by the Grizzlies, but not much difference, and I think they're going to put the ball down on the 20-yard line, and it's about a length of a football difference between the first punt and the second punt.
And Matt West had no chance when he caught that football. There were about 4 blue jerseys right around him. So Hoover, the 6'4" junior, leads his team out. Always nice to have the tallest kid on the team be your quarterback.
And the Explorer defense beginning to come alive here as they sit in that 4-man front, able to do a little bit of angling there and knock down the Wadsworth ball carrier.
There's Marino again. Just under 7 minutes to go. Second quarter. Hudson 14, Wadsworth Grizzlies 7 with the ball. 2nd and 9. Marino in motion. Hand up straight up the gut.
Once again, the Explorer defense rises to the challenge. Again, in on that play is number 44, Perry Morton. Perry plays inside linebacker. Perry is a newcomer to the Explorers defense this year. Last year he started at Sydney High School. He was a linebacker there and is a pretty strong guy. He's impressed the coaches in the weight room and has earned a starting spot here at inside linebacker. So Perry certainly a welcome addition to the Hudson football program and Hudson High School.
Pass was knocked down by number 70, Ed Wagner.
Ed Wagner, another one of those Hudson seniors back. And one of the advantages the Explorers have this year is they just have a bunch of guys back who played and started every game last year in that difficult year. And this year I think they're out for a little bit of payback.
And looking back on last season, if you really think about it, there was only one game that they weren't in it, that they really didn't have a chance in one game.
Scott, I agree. I think that's absolutely true. The Explorers last year were 1-9, could have easily been 5-5. Wagner, the defensive player who knocked down that last pass play, was a two-way starter last year, and he's a big guy who really runs well. In fact, Eddie is right around 245 pounds, and he's being recruited and at least looked at by several schools in the MAC. And last year was first-team defensive line player, the defensive lineman for the Western Reserve Conference. So Eddie has had some experience and had some good success. And certainly looks for a big year this year.
Eddie goes 6'3", 245, so he's got the size. Dicer gives the Holden. Holden going to break it for about 7.
Josh did a good job there of taking that quick hitter, finding a seam back over the right side of the line of scrimmage and making that little cut that probably picked him up an extra 2 or 3 yards. When he could have made a, perhaps a 4-yard gain, he turned it into about a 7-yard gain. Good vision.
And the Hudson offensive line still, for the most part, controlling the line of scrimmage down there. There's that play again to Holden. Only going to be stopped short of the first down. About 2, a long 2, as we're under the 5-minute mark.
Defensively, Wadsworth looked at a 5 defense once again, and that time they angled right into the ball carrier, and it proved to be the correct defensive call and made for a nice play for the Grizzly defense.
They're going to take a timeout to measure here. Dicer was signaling to the sideline that they were about a yard short as he threw up his hands about shoulder width apart.
While they measure this, can't resist but to talk about the Hudson band. This year, bigger and better than ever, somewhere around 275 strong, and they will certainly entertain this crowd at halftime. They have been to a couple of band shows already this year, most notably at Glen Oak High School against some of the best bands in the state of Ohio. And rumor has it that they blew the competition away and they impressed everybody in the place. Got a standing ovation, so we're looking forward to watching them during the halftime show today.
And over 250 band members really does prove that loud is good, or loud is the way you're going to have it.
And if it's good and loud, that means it might be good.
Looks like they're going to be about a foot short. See if Dicer goes for a long count here, trying to draw them off sides, and now they're going to go straight at it. And he's going to be able to get the first down on second effort.
Looks like the give to Wittenberg was a successful attempt.
He was able to slip out of the way of a tackle by Chris Brink, who exploded into the Hudson backfield and was almost able to make that stop for a loss of 2. But for the Hudson Explorers, they'll start over 1st and 10. 4:40 left to go in the second quarter. Tim Ryan comes near side. Matt Ford going to go out and cover him man to man. Dicer going to keep it on the ground to Holden. Holden trying to explode to the outside. Nice bit of tackling. So number 36 was there. It's Jake Big McIlvain. Joe Holden was close to breaking another one. Just an ankle tackle kept him from possibly getting another first down and even more. There's the pitch to Holden, trying to cut the corner. Now coming back inside, dives over the 50-yard line.
Josh tried to beat the defensive pursuit around the corner. When he found he wasn't going to be able to do that, he made the good choice to cut the ball back inside, pick up a couple 3 yards on the play rather than take a no gain. Again, good heads up and good thinking on the play by number 9, Josh Holden.
3rd and 4 for the Explorers. Another big 3rd down on this play, on this drive. Let's see if they can convert once again. There's that pitch to Holden again. Holden's got room up the middle. So you're going to be about a yard and a half short of the first down. Now it's 4th and 2. Joe, you're the coach. There's 3 minutes left to go in the first half. You have a 1-touchdown lead. Do you go for it, or do you punt it away here?
I'll tell you what, I have a lot of confidence in this offensive line. This might be the opportunity to go for it one time. The defense has demonstrated over the last 2 series that they're able to stop the Grizzlies. And that's what Coach Narducci decides to do.
I have to agree with you. And this.
As he puts in some big guys and then calls a timeout. Probably wasn't able to make the substitutions he wanted to make as quickly as he could.
And very smart by Dysart to call a timeout instead of taking a penalty. You don't want to take a penalty with 2 minutes and 39 seconds left on the clock when you have a chance to continue a drive and keep the ball out of the Wadsworth Grizzlies' offensive hands.
Well, checking into the ballgame right now for the Explorers, big number 76, Todd Eisen. Todd's added to the lineup here to add a little extra muscle and punch to the Explorer offensive front. Dysart back onto the field. Coach is coming off. Looks like we're going to start this one again.
Crowd trying to cheer him on. Holden, second and third effort. He gets the first down and maybe a yard more. And use that running back cliche, 3 yards and a cloud of dust for the first down.
Hudson's offensive line came off the ball very well, but a couple of knifing linebackers from the Grizzlies made a really fine attempt to take Josh down short of the first down, but Josh kept the legs moving, dipped the shoulder down there, and made the first down. The officials, though, are going to measure it. If the lines are straight, if Chuck Schilling's crew painted the line straight, this is a first down.
And what this does for Hudson as they're measuring, it gives them an added timeout. As you see Dysart on the sidelines right now, talking it over, seeing what they're going to do. He's very confident that they have a first down, and you know what? I think they do. Probably going to have it by about half the football. And as usual, I'm wrong by a whole football and then some.
Compliments to the grounds crew there that painted the line straight, so we were able to make that call, I think.
They do keep Lavelli Field here in nice shape.
Especially given the number of games played on that between boys soccer, girls soccer, and it's a breakaway.
Look out. One more tackle to beat. And he's dragged down. Once again, Pat McCarthy and also Chris Brink with a touchdown-saving tackle as the Hudson fans come to their feet. Nice run.
As this time, Joe Wittenberg, number 39, takes it off the left side of the offensive line of scrimmage, and it looked to be a quick trap and broke it wide open for about a 25 or, check that, about a 45-yard gain. Nice run by Joe.
One of the Wadsworth players is down on the ground. Official timeout here. Looks like McCarthy, who was on the tackle, might have caught a foot to the stomach or something, had the wind knocked out of him because he's on one knee. Looks like he's holding his abdomen area. Well, Joe, I'm hoping this year we turn things around here for the Hudson Explorers and also for me. Last year I went 0 for 5 in the 50-50 raffle. Hoping to turn that around with a couple dollars in tickets today. But with a large crowd like this, I might have too much competition.
At this time, let's also give a great big round of applause for our guest coaches down on the field tonight. Mr. Chin, Apicellum, and Therese Freisach.
Still attending to McCarthy. Looks like he's going to be able to walk off on his own power. He was sandwiched between two bigger men, and Chris Brink and the Hudson Explorer running back, Joe Wittenberg.
Coach Narducci's signature. There's a 6-foot party salt waiting for him. Check him out, and if you don't have it yet, go buy a program.
First and goal from the 4.
Officials wind the clock here, get this thing going.
Hudson first down and goal to go at the 4.
There's Holden. Holden looking to get in the end zone for a second time. Going to be spotted short. Looks like they're going to spot it about the 2-yard line, so a 2-yard gain.
Puts his head down and takes it down to about the 2-yard line. That's where it's marked, down at the 2-yard line. First and goal.
Still plenty of time here for Hudson.
Next tackle was made by number 56, Brian
Minute 40. Be nice to punch it in here.
Get a timeout here by the Explorers. Timeout will give us an opportunity to talk a little bit about the Western Reserve Conference this year, especially in particular Western Reserve Conference South. The front runners appear to be this year Barberton, at least according to one area newspaper. Barberton's the team to beat in the Western Reserve Conference South, and then it looks like it's going to be a toss-up with most people looking at Kent Roosevelt, then Ravenna, then Cuyahoga Falls, Stowe, Ravenna, and the Explorers rounding it out. I think that will probably be something that goes up on the wall in the locker room, in the Hudson locker room, as they were selected 6th out of 6 in the Western Reserve Conference selections this year by the Akron Beacon Journal. Certainly, if that's not a motivator, I don't know what can be.
Looking at the other side of the Western Reserve Conference, Solon looks to be the runaway winner by all the papers. Once again, they're loaded, and they have tough test tonight to open up the season.
Who do they open with?
Drawing a blank here. It's the first time that these two schools have ever met, though. Hudson crowd comes to their feet, trying to cheer their team into the end zone. Dicer with the ball, and he's going to be sacked. Matt Ford comes up with a huge play.
Big loss there by the Explorers. Not only was Ford in on that one, big number 77, Ian Forsman, was right there by Dicer too, and that's going to bring us to a 3rd down and about 16 yards to go for the touchdown for the Explorers.
This is a big stop for the Wadsworth Grizzlies if they get it. Dicer got time, got a man in the end zone, leaping catch. Oh, in and out of the hands. Looked like Tom Enright had a hand on it, hit as he caught the ball.
The Explorers look like they're going to come out and try to kick the field goal as Gary Beckley jogged to the sideline, was able to get the tee. He's going to set it down. Looks like he's going to be, about 34 yards from the crossbars. So the left footer Beckley's going to try to knock one through from 34 yards out. Good snap, good hold, kick is hooking, and it's no good. Wide right.
Had the distance, but just a little bit wide. So with 40 seconds left to go in the second quarter, Hudson holding on to a 14-7 lead. Wadsworth going to get one more crack at the end zone before the end of the first half. And remember, they will when we come out for the third quarter, as Hudson started this ball game off with a touchdown.
Get a feel for Coach Dennison's strategy here. Do you pack it up, go down on one knee with 40 seconds to go in the half, rethink the offense and the defense, or do we come out blasting?
Probably go to a running play with one of their running backs. Unless they, well, he might air it out here. And it looks like they are. Going deep down the middle, he overthrew his man by about a day and a half. Although he was open. Like Chris Brink was the intended receiver.
You do have to be impressed with Mike Hoover's arm, though. He sat back there in the pocket, stood up tall, and just fired a rifle shot across the middle of the field.
Play only took off 4 seconds. Hoover rolling near side, looking, got a man. Hudson in a little prevent defense as Adam Copeland makes the catch. Here's a little curl pattern.
I think Hudson will give up a couple more of those before they get too worried about that play. Perry Morton looking to the sidelines to give the signals for to the Explorers.
Definitely not time to panic if you're the Explorer defense. And don't need to give up a deep one here. Just do exactly what they've been doing. Let them have the short stuff, run some time off. Hudson was coming with the blitz.
Grizzlies there had Marino coming out of the backfield and running a streak pattern down the sidelines with a couple of receivers on the inside of that.
Penalty is going to go up against Wadsworth.
With the exception of the hold against the Explorers and a couple of 5-yarders against Wadsworth, there's been few penalties called in this ball game, so a well-played game thus far on both sides of the line of scrimmage in the penalty department.
Both teams have done a nice job of fighting off those usual first night jitters that happen in high school football. Just shows you the good coaching that both teams have, the discipline.
And we're looking at the same kind of look, about a 4-deep pattern. Ball knocked down once again by Ed Wagner.
He's been all over the backfield so far. 20 seconds to go. Wadsworth going to have a 2nd and 15.
Coach Dennison demonstrating some confidence in his quarterback, letting him air it out.
They're going to go to the ground and probably call a timeout after this play, or they're going to let it run out.
Big number 76, Todd Eisen on that tackle. That one out and made the tackle of Marino for a loss on the play.
Wadsworth looks like they're very content to let the clock run out here. Go in down by a touchdown, get the ball back in the second half.
A fine half of football by the Explorers. Few mistakes. That first offensive drive by Wadsworth caught them back on their heels. They were able to adjust and play pretty good defense. Were able to break the ball off with some nice long drives. And with the exception of the miscue down there on the goal line, they played pretty good football this half.
Very excellent, very clean half by both teams. And we're going to step aside really quickly. We'll be back with our halftime show featuring Loud is Good, the Hudson Explorer Marching Band.
We're at halftime here in Hudson, where the score is Hudson 14, Wadsworth 7, and it's been all Josh Holden for Hudson. He scored on a nice 70-yard, about a 70-yard run. That made the score 14-7, but going back, both teams scored on their first possessions. Hudson striking first on a short touchdown run to make it 7-0. Then Wadsworth countered, and Dave Lance had a nice 3-yard run to make the score 7-7. And then Hudson on their second series, Holden scored the long touchdown run. That made it 14-7. And really after those first 3 series, there was no scoring. Late in the first half, Hudson did try a 34-yard field goal. That was wide right. So the score remained 14-7. So really the first 3 series with the ball, there were scores. That made it 14-7, and that's where we stand at the half. The Explorers 14, Wadsworth 7. We'll have the second half action for you, and we'll be back after the game to wrap things up.
For the second half of action here. Just an outstanding halftime show by the Hudson Explorers marching band. I thought they were absolutely terrific as usual. And I'll tell you what, if you had to watch it on TV and that was your first opportunity to watch the Explorers swing marching band, then you need to come down to Lavelli Stadium for our third game of the year against Glen Oak and take a look at these guys in person, because they are terrific. But that's only if you could find a seat, because I have news for you. There is not a place to sit in the home side, and just a couple of spaces over on the visitor side tonight. There are people standing all over the place in this stadium to watch this football game here this evening. So be aware of that. Given the opportunity to come on down to watch the Explorers, you should take advantage of it, because you'll see some fine football, some outstanding swing marching band, and nothing else but just the excitement of high school athletics at their best. But come early, because seats are limited. Teeing the ball up for the Explorers here to start the second half again is senior number 8, Gary Beckley. And right now the fans are on their feet for the second half kickoff. And Gary sends the ball deep down to about the 14-yard line. And here come the Grizzlies. Fine return by number 7, Dan Marino, back over the 30-yard line. And the Grizzlies will get their start on the 32-yard line.
Grizzlies have had decent field position to start every drive so far all night long. And also, while we got this opportunity, I'd like to welcome watching in Wadsworth today, as they are able to pick up this game.
Wadsworth coming out, giving the ball off to their fine fullback. Just a short gain over the left side. But again, the Grizzlies number 24, Dave Lance, picks and chooses his way and runs over a ball carrier or two on his way to a 3-yard gain. Scott, looks like the Grizzlies have spread it out a little bit in the one-back offense.
Much like they did on that last drive in the first half.
Again, to give the Lance. Bounces off Ed Wagner in the backfield and is able to get out for another 3 or 4 yard gain. I am impressed with David Lance's ability to bounce off of ball carriers, keep his balance, hit and spin, and always pick up some positive yardage. He has impressed me this evening as quite a fine ball carrier.
Really had a real quick first step there, exploded towards the hole and just bounced right off of Ed Wagner.
Now back in that more familiar eye set.
It's a well decoyed play there by Mike Hoover. He faked to the up man, faked the pitch, and then wound up throwing a forward pass out in the flat.
Threw that little flare pass out in the flat to Marino, and Marino was able to pick up the first down before Perry Morton was able to take him down on the play for the Explorers. Hudson staying in that 4-4 defense. Once again, to give the Lance over the left side. That time there's not much there as the Explorer defense gathers around him. Ed Wagner, Todd Eisen among the tacklers on the play.
Takes it up the middle for a short gain of 3. It's 2nd down and 7 with the ball at the 46-yard line.
2nd and 7. This drive has already eaten up 2 minutes. Very fast-moving game tonight, Joe.
Has been a well-played game, and both coaches have had their teams ready to go at the official call, and things are moving very well. Quick drop by the quarterback, fires the ball out there to the right side, completed pass. That's going to be a 1st down. Brought down there by Greg Todd, the cornerback for the Explorers. Grizzlies able to move the chains again.
Adam Copeland ran a real nice play there. Went out just far enough for the 1st down. Was able to hit him.
Trapp with the tackle over the right side that time. Picks up a couple more yards for the Grizzlies. Stop on the play by the Explorers, number 74, Ryan Bennett. It's always interesting to see the teams come out in the second half after the coaches were able to make some adjustments and make some changes, and it becomes a little bit of a chess game this first series as the coaches try to discover what the other coaches tried to work out as far as adjustments and so forth, and it's always interesting to see the strategy develop.
Probably not much adjustment on the defensive side of the Hudson Explorer ball.
Nice fake that time by Hoover, and he rolls to his right and throws the pass back across his body. Mike Hoover is a strong young quarterback. As he rolled right, threw back against his body to the left and able to complete the pass for just a short gain, but still really demonstrated some strength in the arm.
Key 3rd down and 7 play early in the 3rd quarter for both teams. Wadsworth trying to pull even, and Hudson trying to maintain this 1-touchdown lead.
Blitz by the Explorers, almost getting to the ball carrier, who is number 54, Elliott Wyant, causing the incompletion.
And Mike Hoover did the only thing he could there, is throw the ball to nobody. So Hudson will have their first crack at offense following this punt. Very deep punt, fair catch called for and taken at the 11-yard line. And that's where Hudson will start with the ball.
The Explorers seem to be sending out that same offensive group that started the ball game. One change there. It appears that number 86, Josh Derryberry, is in the ball game now, wide receiver spot. Give up the middle to number 9, Josh Holden, for a pretty good gainer. Josh picks up about 5 yards on the play, giving the Explorers a 2nd and 5.
McElvey in among the Grizzly tacklers.
Gary Beckley comes down here to the right as the split end. Ooh. Good job of carrying out his fake. That time caused Phil Dysart to get tackled on the play as he gave the ball to Wittenberg and then followed through his fake to Josh Holden, and he was tackled on the play. So that's a good bit of ball faking.
Dysart and Holden also collided in the backfield.
3rd and 1, that big, strong Hudson offensive line wants to get a good charge off the ball here, create a little bit of space to pick up that 1st down. Gift to Holden, bounces off one tackler. Maybe a little short this time of the 1st down as he was surrounded by a group of Grizzly tacklers. It appears it's going to be short, but I think the officials are going to call for a measurement. They do. They're going to take a look at it. What do you think, Scott?
See where they lay the ball down. From here, it looks like he's short.
Okay, you can't wait for the change to come out. You're 1 for 1 tonight. You're going to say short?
He's short by probably nose of the football. Short about.
You're right, but it's a pretty good sized nose, I would say.
Should have said half a yard. This is not an exact science yet, determining where the ball is.
Out comes the Hudson punter, number 40, Bill Green.
I am 2 for 2 now.
Low snap, handled nicely by Bill. Good high kick, not a very long one.
Uh-oh, that might have hit a Hudson
head. Hit a Hudson player on the top of the helmet, and the ball's going to be spotted.
Well, if it hit a Wadsworth player, that's Hudson ball. And that's what I think that's what happened.
That's what it appears, although we do have one official who dropped his beanbag down on the Hudson side of the field about the 46-yard line. The officials are conferring now, and they have awarded the ball to the Explorers.
There was an Explorer and a Grizzly running side by side, and couldn't tell if it hit off a gray helmet, I'm sorry, a silver helmet or a red helmet.
Well, I can tell you this much, there's not a whole lot of complaining over there on the Wadsworth sideline, and they were right there in front of it, so it must have hit the red helmet. My eyesight is failing. I thought sure it was one of those big silver helmets, but in any event, the Explorers take the ball over on the Wadsworth side of the field. And we've got a flag down in the
It's in the area of a false start.
See if we get an official call on the play. Get illegal procedure against the Explorers. That's going to back them up 5.
So Hudson gets a huge break here. 6:40 left to go in the 3rd quarter. And when it looked like Wadsworth was going to get the ball at about midfield, excellent field position, Hudson winds up catching a break.
Tim Ryan sets himself down the right side. Quick pitch and picking his way through, and hard running by Josh Holden moves the ball up. About an 8 or 9 yard gain on the play, so the Explorers able to get back that 5-yard loss because of the penalty and add a few to it. And we're looking at about a 2nd down and 6 to go.
And the Grizzly defense kind of gambled there, coming with an outside blitz on both sides, and Holden was able to squirt through the middle.
This time Holden able to sneak around the end, but there's a flag down. I think we're going to catch Hudson down here with a hold or an illegal block in the back. One or the other, but the official threw his flag down immediately. Holden, though, on a nice gain, just used the speed to get around the outside, and there we get an illegal block against the Explorers. That's going to move it back 15 yards.
And this isn't what Hudson wanted to come out and do, being handed a gift and now partially giving it back. Once again, that just reiterates what Coach Narducci said in the pregame about limiting your mistakes.
Absolutely. And we're back to a second down, but this time it's 2nd and 21 for the Explorers. See what Coach Narducci has up his sleeve.
Watch out,
Ball
blitz
fake.
coming. Nice pick.
Nice pick
block.
up there.
Oh,
Give credit to Hudson's number 52. Josh Herman on a nice block, picked up blitzing linebacker, and then a nice throw and catch.
it was a completed pass. Looks like it's going to be about 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5.
Well, each time the Explorers have stumbled here in this drive, they've been able to come back and at least pick up most of the yards. Now we have that 3rd and 5.
Holden. That's
Holden
good
able
for
to
a
pick his
first down.
way through again. He starts off to the right, able to cut it back up the middle, probably over the right guard position, pick up about 7 or 8 yards on a first down. I'll tell you what, the Explorer offensive line is doing a real fine job of picking up the Grizzlies and making the right blocks and the right decisions. So they are doing a nice job in this drive. Even though it's a slow-moving drive, the Explorers are moving the football forward and using up most of the 3rd quarter clock while they're at it.
Hudson offensive line holding their own against a very physical and very strong Wadsworth defense.
This time, Joe Wittenberg breaks it over the right side, and he's able to pick up good yardage for another Hudson first down. And we've been talking a lot about Josh Holden and his ability to see the ball and turn on the speed. But right there, Wittenberg not only broke into the clear and then broke a tackle, was able to maintain his balance as he was going down and pick up an extra 3 or 4 yards.
That's about the 2nd or 3rd good run that Wittenberg's put together.
Some good downfield blocking by the Explorers, but Wadsworth defenders able to knife in there and make a big play. Number 66 from the Grizzlies on that tackle. The 56, I'm sorry, Ryan Finn.
Yeah, just a nice job of tackling by Ryan Finn in the open field in a one-on-one tackle.
Loss for the Explorers on the play. We're looking at about 2nd down, 11 yards to go.
This is where they've done most of their damage on 2nd and long and 3rd and long.
Holden with some nice running, some nifty moves. That was all ignited, though, by a block by tight end Tommy Enright. Tom was blocking down there under end position from the right side, made a nice block, was able to spring Holden for the big gainer. Tom Enright, the strongest player on the team, bench press this year, 320 pounds. Would like to play football, perhaps baseball when he goes to college. Tom is certainly a big, strong young guy, has an outstanding grade point average of about 3.7. So Tom is well on his way to having a successful senior year and certainly a successful future. That time another fine play by number 56, Ryan Finn, and another tackle for a loss. And it's going to bring up a 4th down for the Explorers. Well, what do you think, Scott? We have a 4th down and about 3. Do we try to kick one, or do we go for the first down?
Well, last time we attempted a field goal from this far, he did have the distance. It was just wide. It looks like Coach Narducci's going to go for it.
I like this decision. I believe that the offensive line's been playing very well, and right now they need to drive the Grizzlies off the ball and make the big play.
Good play action.
Another nice block, play action pass, wide open, and
Wittenberg.
Touchdown on the play.
It was Wittenberg that made the catch there.
So Joe Wittenberg snuck out of the backfield, was wide open there in the left flat. An outstanding play as far as its conception, and its execution was perfect as the Explorers going for the touchdown.
I was going to mention before, maybe punching it in or getting a first down there would be really big at this point in the game with 3 minutes left to go in the 3rd quarter. You now put yourself up by 2 touchdowns.
Beckley, the extra point attempt, looks pretty good, and it is. And the Explorers jump out to a 21-7 lead. Scott, we need to add here, as we were talking to Coach Narducci this week, he let us know that he was 0 for the 90s against Wadsworth. He's 0-3 since he became the Explorers head coach, and he'd like nothing better in this, the last meeting between the Explorers and the Grizzlies, at least for some years, to walk away with the victory tonight. So there's a special incentive for the coach as well this evening.
And the kids have definitely shown it so far.
Well, in our pregame show, one of the things that Josh Holden talked about was, since his freshman year, the most important game for him was to beat Wadsworth, and he hasn't had opportunity yet, and certainly he's playing like he's going to make that happen this evening, as are the rest of the Explorers. Beckley kicks the ball down to about the 15-yard line. Number 7, Marino, on the return, makes a decision to bring the ball all the way back across the field. Probably not the best decision he could have made, as he ran a long way to only gain 5 yards on the return. Perhaps there's something set up by the coaching staff along the Wadsworth sideline, but it just appeared that Dan made that decision on his own. You know, something to think about, Scott. I was thinking about this as we broadcast all the ball games last year, and the Explorers did not have good fortune. Oftentimes last year, when they had a turnover come their way, they weren't able to cash in, as opposed to this year, when they had the turnover here, were able to overcome some penalties and problems themselves and turn it into a touchdown. That's a sign of a more mature team, a more experienced team, and with a little bit of good fortune, maybe that'll happen often for the Explorers. Pass there by Hoover. For number 21, Ryan Gasser's incomplete. Be a 2nd and 10 for the Grizzlies. Coverage on the play by Bill Green.
Coach Dennison not afraid to open it up. As the last drive of the first half and the first two thus far, Grizzlies have thrown the ball a little bit more. There's a delay.
Explorer defense playing pretty well right now. Delay to Marino doesn't net much. Picks up a few yards on the play.
With about 2:30 left to go in this third quarter, this is a fairly big defensive possession for the Hudson Explorers. A stop here really swings momentum your way towards the fourth quarter. And on the other side of the ball, should Wadsworth punch it in here or continue to drive the ball, it's a big series for them.
Right there, I was impressed with Mike Hoover. He pump faked and had the Explorers guessing, and then drilled the ball down the right sideline for a completed pass and a big gainer. Only Bill Green was able to come over and make the tackle and save the touchdown, but the Grizzlies are back in business as they picked up about 40 yards on the play, moving the ball into Explorer territory. 1st and 10, Hudson 37-yard line.
Quick hitter up the middle, flag flies.
Flag thrown in. What do you think, holding into that area?
It's thrown from the umpire. It's just general area of a hold or face mask.
And we get a face mask against the Explorers. That's going to do more damage. Well, I guess we didn't expect Wadsworth to lay down and say, well, geez, you guys win, because the Explorers were able to drive the ball down the field. Certainly the pride of the Wadsworth Grizzlies is, well, we're going to come back and give you a ball game, and certainly they're doing that here on this drive.
You don't go 8-2 by giving up.
You most certainly do not. And we've got another flag. I don't know if we're going to get it against the Explorers, against the Grizzlies. Offside against the Explorers. We have the face mask coupled right up with the offside, and it turns into 20 yards worth of penalties against. It's going to make it 1st and 5.
Marching off 5 more yards, bringing up 1st down and 5. Ball on the 15-yard line.
Wadsworth with a very serious threat here. Ball's loose.
Give to the tailback Marino. He seemed to have fumbled the ball and ended up back on top of it.
Around the 12-yard line. Number 89, Eli Shipley, in on the stop. Makes it 2nd down and 2. The ball on the 12-yard line.
Look out.
Give to David Lance. Lance able to pick up big yardage.
24, David Van.
Nearly punched it in from there.
Ball inside the 1-yard line is where it'll be spotted. And again, Lance able to deliver a blow, bounce off a tackler, and pick up yardage where probably he could have been tackled well short of the spot the Explorers finally got him. Now point-blank range for the Grizzlies in a 1st and goal. They have 4 shots at it to get back within 1 touchdown.
Go to that stacked I formation, how they scored their first touchdown in this area. Oh,
And this time they jump, and they're going to be backing up 5. Little bit of breathing room for the Hudson defense.
not what you want if you're the Wadsworth Grizzlies doing that on 1st and goal.
Opportunity for Hudson to catch a break here, catch a little bit of a blow, and get their defense reorganized. Power I formation by the Grizzlies. They stay with the same thing.
There's Lance. Just walks into the end zone.
And a quick little blast play, and Lance is able to score virtually untouched from about the 5-yard line. So that's going to get the Grizzlies back in this ball game. 21-13. We'll see if they add the extra point with the kick, and it looks like they're going to do that. And going into the 4th quarter, as there's only 9 seconds to go here in the 3rd, we've got ourselves an outstanding football game.
Oh, we're going to have a pretty high-scoring affair at the beginning of this game. The defenses took over.
And the Wadsworth kicker nails the extra point. With 9 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter, it's Hudson 21, Wadsworth 14.
And I'm sure that the viewers on WCTV over in Wadsworth were very pleased to watch David Lance score his 2nd touchdown. I'd like to welcome them. I guess we can be called the flagship station for Explorer football.
Yeah, we're now reaching 2 markets.
We are on our way.
Now, Scott, I've got to reiterate, we've got a full house here tonight. We have every seat on the home stands taken. It's just a beautiful night for football, and it is an enthusiastic crowd, both for Wadsworth and Hudson. And this is a great rivalry. And it's just a shame that next year it will not be. The Hudson Explorers and the Wadsworth Grizzlies will not be lining up against each other on the football field. But it has been a wonderful 10-year rivalry, and certainly, hopefully, at least in the future, these two teams will get together again, because both of these communities come out and support their team so well that it always makes for a great contest and a great spirit of community coming both in Hudson and Wadsworth.
How far of a drive is it from here to Wadsworth?
You're probably only talking about 40 minutes. It's a pretty easy drive for Hudson to go to Wadsworth, or Wadsworth to go to Hudson. They had an outstanding rivalry when both teams were in the Suburban League. Ball blew off the tee now for the second time. And we'll see if we can get the tee, keep the ball on the tee this time, see if we can get this kickoff going. Back deep for the Explorers, Holden and Waters. And Eric Waters bounces it out very nicely out over the 35-yard line to about the 38-yard line. And the Explorers are back on offense.
Ryan Finn made a nice tackle to keep him from going any further. But excellent field position for the Explorers. They'll be able to get one play off in the third quarter as we're down to 2 seconds to go. And barring a big breakaway run or pass, that will be the score. We will be going into the fourth quarter with 21-14 in favor of the Explorers. Holden gets the ball straight up the middle. Clock winds out. Holden runs it forward for about 3 yards.
Scott wanted to refer back to Eric Waters, the kick returner on that last play. Eric is new to the Hudson schools this year. And Eric comes to us with another guy with a 3-point grade average. And not only is he a football player for the Explorers in the fall, he's going to be a basketball player this winter as well. So we're glad to have Eric with us, and he made a nice return there in his first opportunity. Couple of special features that we're going to provide for you for the ball game tonight. Of course, we've talked a little bit about the pregame show that you've already seen. That's a new feature for Explorer football. But also we're going to have a quick post-game report as my partner Scott Polachek will make his way to the sidelines and interview Coach Narducci at the end of the ball game tonight. So right after the game, stay tuned for that as well as we expand our coverage of Explorer athletics. And this year, as we mentioned earlier, we intend to bring to you not only football in the fall, but we're looking forward to bringing to you some field hockey. And as we begin thinking about what else we can do, we may be looking at a couple of other sports as well. Certainly in the winter, we'll be back with Hudson Wrestling and Hudson Basketball. So HCTV Channel 25 continues to expand its coverage of Hudson High School sports and other Hudson High School activities, as well as activities for the middle school and for the elementary buildings. So please watch us on HCTV Channel 25, Community Access TV in Hudson.
And Holden throws a stiff arm. Able to fall forward, close to a first down. About 2nd and 2, or excuse me, 3rd and 2.
Hudson's number 84, Jeff Panhorst, checks into the game. Brings the play to Phil Dysert. Dysert takes the Explorers to the line.
Holden bounces off a tackler and dives forward for a first down and then some.
It appears that that play was designed to go inside. Josh not finding any room inside, in fact bouncing off of a tackler or two, able to make his way to the outside and pick up the first down.
Ball spotted at just over midfield. Dysert sent Holden in motion. Fake handoff. Oh.
Quick give. Dysert comes back, fired that pop pass to the tight end, just out of his reach.
Enright was the intended receiver there, just missed. And he had a few yards to run too if he makes that catch. Hudson will do it again, 2nd and 10. There's Wittenberg again, and he goes not very far as Tim Wilkinson, 5'10" senior, runs him down after a gain of about 1. 3rd and 9.
Good solid tackle by Wilkinson there. Open field tackle all by himself. Made a nice play. Tim Ryan checking back into the game along with Panhorst.
Holden goes far side. Sitting over the middle, he's open. That's who he got. That's who's got it.
It's going to be a first down, I think, Scott. And I'll tell you what, I give a lot of credit to Phil Dysart there. He had people climbing all over him. He released that pass and got it out to Josh Holden for a first down. Unfortunately, there's a flag down. We'll get a look and see what we have.
Wadsworth defenders are clapping, and it looks like
illegal motion against the Explorers. That's one for the highlight reel there, though, as Phil was really in a bit of a jam. And without question, he's able to release that pass practically as he was going down to complete the pass.
Third and about 15. Little screen pass to Holden. Holden puts on a nice move to gain yardage. Cuts back up the middle. He's got a lot of room. He could break it down to about the 30. Spotted at about the 29-yard line as Josh Holden comes up big.
Once again, Josh Holden with the great run, but credit left guard Ed Wagner as Ed made a big block right about on the 45-yard line to spring Holden loose. Just an outstanding block by Ed, and he should be commended. That was outstanding work by the offensive line there. Well-conceived play, good call by the coaches.
And Holden is back on the sidelines. Looked like he took a helmet to the back, to the lower back, just a stinger. He'll probably be back in the game. As Wittenberg gets the call, and not much. So set up about 2nd and 11.
In Holden's absence, number 27, Mike Johnson, in the ball game.
Dysart looking to throw, rolls, finds, a diving
attempt.
Like Gary Beckley out there. So we've seen 2 quarterbacks with very strong arms today. Not afraid to throw the ball hard at all.
We have 3rd and 11. We still have Holden on the sidelines, probably getting a little bit of a rest, so hopefully it's not a serious injury. Unfortunately for the Explorers tonight, linebacker Jared Brennan was unable to see action because of an ankle injury, but he's been replaced very ably by the inside linebackers of the Explorers. Nice gain on the play there. Number 49, Eric Waters, once again. Eric getting a little bit of action here in his first game with the Explorers. Picks up about 6 or 7 yards. It's still going to be a 4th down. And here comes Holden back into the ballgame.
Didn't think it would be long till we saw him. See if he gets the call right away. He's the deep man in the I formation. There's a pitch out to him. This is the play that worked before.
Come up a little short this time, and the Grizzlies are going to get the ball back with about 8 minutes to go in the ball game.
Holden's down. Looked like what happened, he had a defender wrap him up on the ankles, and someone came flying in and hit him about chest high. Probably took a helmet or the football right to the sternum and chest area, and it's probably knocked the wind out of him. At least that's all we're hoping it is just having the wind knocked out of them.
The trainer looks him over here. This does give us an opportunity to recap our schedule, the Explorer schedule. Okay. Yeah, I think you're right. It's a wind knocked out of him. They're using him quite a bit. As Wadsworth gets ready to come to the line of scrimmage on offense, we'll take a look at the upcoming games for both these teams. Next week, the Explorers will be going to Nordonia, while Wadsworth will be going to Cuyahoga Falls. Then the Explorers will be playing Glen Oak, Twinsburg, Kenston, Barberton, Ravenna, Stowe, Kent Roosevelt, and they'll close the season out with Cuyahoga Falls.
Nice play by Adam Copeland, the receiver on that.
Slant pass incomplete. Must have trapped it.
Second and 10, 8:23 left to go, fourth quarter. Wadsworth trailing by a touchdown. They have the ball. Hoover going to give to Moreno, and he just got popped.
He did take a shot. Hudson's number 89, Eli Shibley, a junior, a 6'4", 209-pound junior, just gave the ball carrier a shot, knocking him to the ground. But a good gain on the play for the Grizzlies, as they're going to see a third down and about 3.
Man, I remember towards the end of the season, Eli Shibley, as a sophomore, was among the team leaders in tackles from his linebacker position.
Now as a junior, he's filled out nicely, and he is a good young football player.
Hudson defense swarming all over that one.
That time another good young football player, number 76, Todd Eisen. Able to get himself into the ball game there, knock down the Wadsworth ball carrier, creating a fourth down situation. Todd is part of a long, or I shouldn't say at least a long line of Eisens, but he's the second of Eisens to play under Coach Narducci. Todd follows his brother Jeremy, who's currently at the University of Miami playing baseball. Football player, plays tackle for the Explorers. Also as a baseball player, does a nice job on the baseball team.
Look out. This is a safety. No, he's able to get it away. Nice punt. Really, that could have been huge. Nice job by the punter to save Wadsworth.
Yes, that was a fine bit of heads-up play by the Wadsworth punter.
I thought he might just fall on the ball as it rolled right into the end zone and take the safety, give up the 2 instead of the 7, but he was able to get it out to about the, looks like it's just inside the 30 at about the 29-yard line. So Hudson once again gets a huge break. Holden was just a step away from breaking that one.
Again, the nice cutback. Gary Beckley checks into the game with the play for Phil Dysert. Tomorrow evening, the Explorers soccer team will be taking the field at 7 p.m. If you're looking for some of the finest soccer action in the state of Ohio, please come on out and join us here at Lavelli Stadium. Give over the right side to Wittenberg. Joe able to pick up about 4 or 5 yards on the play. Ball spotted right on the 25. It's going to be about a 3rd down, 5.5 yards to go for the Explorers. Comes Jason Panhorst. The Explorers have been successful on 3rd down this ball game. Here the give to Holden is going to pick up a couple, maybe 3 yards on the play. The Explorers are going to be looking at a 4th down and about 3 yards to go.
Game. I will be down on the field grabbing Coach Narducci. Regardless of the outcome of this game, which right now stands at 21-14.
Several Explorers checking into the game here on this big 4th down play, including number 44, Perry Morton. Perry lining it up at fullback. Option play, fumble. Oh, you talk football. The ball bounces on the grass. Josh Holden able to pick it up on the bounce and move the ball forward. He may be short of the 1st down, but he's awful close.
Being in the right place at the right time.
And the official spotted just short of the 20-yard line, and that's going to be Wadsworth's ball. 1st and 10 going in the other direction. About 4.5 minutes to go in the ball game, and the Explorer defense is going to be put to the test now.
This is a big series for the Explorer defense as they're going deep, and what a catch. That's Adam Copeland again. He comes up big with another catch. Hoover on a keeper. Under 4 minutes to go.
Second short for the Grizzlies. Shotgun. Big throw by Hoover. Complete to number, appeared to be number 20, number 22, Pat McCarthy. I don't know that I really caught the number, though. Outstanding play, a post pattern, and Hoover just rifles it in there. Move. Here we go. 1st down and 10 inside the Hudson 40-yard line. Opener for number 7, Dan Marino, and he picks up another Wadsworth 1st down with about a 16-yard gain. Here come the Grizzlies, and the Hudson defense has got to pull it all together as we go inside of 3 minutes. Another 1st down, ball inside the Hudson 25-yard line. Give over the middle to the Wadsworth fullback. Pick up about 4.5 yards. Looking at about 2nd and 5.5 for the Grizzlies. Hudson staying with that 4-man front. Oh, Now they've come down to 5 down linemen. Deep drop. Pass knocked down on the play. Looks like this time
Number 89.
Eli Shipley. Eli Shipley with the big play there. Right when the Hudson defense needed a big play, they got one out of Big Eli.
And big is right, Joe. I'm standing on the sideline, and these guys are twice as big as they are from standing up there in the friendly confines of the press box.
It is a nice sized group, and right now they're being put to the test early in the season. Quick drop this time, incomplete. And now it's a little bit of Wadsworth's turn to sweat as they're faced with a 4th down with just a couple of minutes to go in this game.
This is the play that's going to make or break a victory here. Comes to their feet now on this near sideline. Wadsworth fans also trying to get into it. This is week 1 and it's like week 10, fighting for a playoff spot down here.
Hudson defense settles in. Motion coming across the field. Big drop, a lot of pressure, incompleted pass. A lot of pressure by Josh Holden, who checked into the game on defense as a rusher. Also some pressure by Eli Shipley, and as well by number 54, Elliot Wyan, put a lot of pressure on Hoover. Hoover wasn't able to get the pass out there into the flat, and the Explorers offense is going to take it over here with 2 minutes, 8 seconds to go.
Looked like the Explorer defense just came with an all-out blitz, going all or nothing there, and they got it all.
And once again, Scott, I would say that demonstrates the maturity of this team over last year's team. This year, this defense was not going to give the Grizzlies an opportunity to make another 1st down and perhaps score a touchdown. And they really demonstrated some maturity and some strength of character there. And
now it's just ball control offense, probably going to keep it on the ground here with an excellent running attack.
Gives to the fullback Wittenberg after a ball fake to number 27, Mike Johnson.
Wadsworth calls a timeout immediately, trying to stop the clock, trying to get the ball back one last time. We are at the 2-minute warning.
Coach Narducci has an opportunity to spend a little bit of time with Phil Dyser on the sidelines, probably telling him to protect the football, but continue to execute.
Well, Joe, while we got this opportunity, is there anything you'd like me to ask Coach Narducci when I'm going to get a chance to get him?
I guess the first question I'd ask him is, how does it feel if he gets this win tonight? How does it feel getting that first win and final win over Wadsworth? Probably something he's worked very hard on all year. He's probably been thinking about since about this time last year, when the Explorers had several opportunities to win the ball game and weren't able to do so. So I think that's probably the first thing I'd like to know.
I might save that one for last. I'm going to savor the moment for him. Wadsworth again going to call timeout right away.
Give to Holden, right up the middle from the tailback spot.
Still plenty of time. Don't know if they're going to use their 3rd one here or if they're going to save it for offense. You'd like to keep one timeout with your offense, even with 1:55 left to go.
As this is now a ball game based on how much time is left, I would suspect that Coach Narducci will keep the ball on the ground here, try to use up as much time before, if he doesn't get the first down, punting the ball away. Into the ballgame for the Explorers comes Eric Waters, number 49. 84, Jason Panhurst splits to the right. And the give to Waters. Not much there. In fact, it takes about a 4 or 5 yard loss.
And Wadsworth is going to call their third timeout here. So they're going to get the ball back with some time left, but no timeouts for their offense.
Right now, the Hudson punt team has to come up big as they've got to really protect their punter.
You have to be careful in this area, as there's one man deep for Wadsworth. They're going to send 10 men at the punter inside the 20-yard line. You got a real strong chance of blocking a punt and getting yourself an easy 7, which is what they're looking for. And this is why the long snapper and the punter practice the long snaps 100 times a day in practice.
It's absolutely true. Bill Green's going to be stepping back there, and his first responsibility is to catch the snap and then make the great punt. The Grizzlies are lining it up. They've got 10 up.
They'll be coming. Nearly an offsides there.
Low snap. Bill able to scoop it up off the ground and hit a pretty good punt, getting the ball out to the Hudson 45-yard line. And with just a little over 1:40 the Wadsworth Grizzlies are going to take one more crack at it from the Hudson 42-yard line.
No timeouts for Wadsworth, though. Plenty of time. See if they keep it on the ground with that excellent running attack they've been using.
Shotgun formation. The Explorers with 4 defensive backs in the ballgame. Pressure by Eisen.
Looking deep, he's got a man.
Just over the head of the Wadsworth Grizzly wide receiver, and the Grizzly wide receiver down in the corner of the end zone is asking for help. Appears that he may have twisted his ankle, so we're going to get a injury timeout down about the 50-yard line. And he's talking to the Hudson captain, number 44, Perry Morton, the Hudson defensive captain at the least. Have not seen an indication yet. Scott, have you seen a penalty indication?
They're starting to march it back.
Yeah, marching it back. It's a big one, too.
Didn't see what it was.
I did not.
You have to wait for an indication.
Clip. We have an illegal block. We have a clip against the Grizzlies, and that's a big penalty that will benefit the Explorer defense.
That's huge. That's a huge penalty.
We do still have a Wadsworth man down in the corner of the end zone, but he is off the field, so we're going to resume play. Wadsworth receivers up and walking off the field, and that's nice to see always.
Joe, that Wadsworth receiver that was injured is number 7. That's Marino.
That was Marino?
He's their tailback. I mean, somebody on the Wadsworth Grizzly offense is going to have to step up and take his place. Well, he is walking over his own power over there.
Tailback in motion is number 24, David Lance. Big throw right down the middle of the field, knocked down by one, or at least tipped by one of the Explorer linebackers. Looks like Perry Morton may have gotten a hand on it. Ball falls incomplete, so we're going to look at a second down situation for the Grizzlies.
Second and 34 here. If you're Wadsworth, you want to get at least half of it here. Although this is going to be 4-down territory.
Hoover back in the shotgun. Able to take a look. Elliott Ryan being pursued by Perry Morton. Nice run by Mike Hoover. But that's going to kill a lot of time as the clock will continue to roll.
Yes,
pressured by Wyan, pushed him out of the pocket, and out came Hoover, and he was pursued by Morton and finally brought down about the 48-yard line.
Throws into double coverage.
Third down. Oh, we get a flag down. We might get a face guarding against the Hudson defensive back.
And Josh Holden had his back turned to the ball, and that's probably what they're going to call. Also, their number 41 was there on coverage also.
This Hudson's Matt Urbanek was in nice position in coverage there, absolutely.
Depending on what they call here, if it is called pass interference, that's an automatic first down. If not, it's just 15 yards from the spot. It's just a 15-yard penalty, which still might leave him short of a first down.
From my angle, it will, Scott, leave him short of a first down by probably, a good 2.5 yards. They are going to march the ball up. Set the ball down. We do have a pass interference call. That is a first down. And the Grizzlies have an opportunity here with 54 seconds to go.
That big PI call, the pass interference, is an automatic first down. Although in high school football, it's an automatic first down and 15 yards from the line of scrimmage. In the NFL, it's a first down from the spot of the foul. So if you're Hudson, that saves you 20 yards.
Yes, it did.
Rolling near side towards me. That's pretty close.
And the pass is completed down to the 35-yard line.
It's Adam Copeland again.
That will be a first down for the Grizzlies. And he did get out of bounds, and that'll stop the clock.
Smart running by Copeland. He caught the ball and just turned out of bounds. Saw that he wasn't going to get much further, and instead of trying to push it towards the end, just wisely got out of bounds to stop the clock with 49 seconds left to go.
As a final battle, this is a classic battle that'll go down in the Wadsworth-Hudson football annals, certainly.
Same
Another completed pass, ball now about the 11 or 12-yard line. Another first down for the Grizzlies.
Copeland again.
Same pass. We're down to about 42 seconds. In the years of the Hudson-Wadsworth rivalry, there's been several overtime games. I think there's been 2 overtime games. Both those overtime games have been won by the Explorers. And I think that Wadsworth coach Greg Dennison would love to have an opportunity to overtime here right now.
Overtime is a very definite possibility here. Look out, he's got a man open. That's
and
Copeland
we've got
again.
A touchdown. We have no flags. We're looking right now with 30 seconds at a 21-20 ball game. Extra point could tie this thing up, and we might be looking at overtime right here.
Joe, they are going to go for one here. There was probably and now they're going to call timeout. They're going to think about this. Saw the coaches waving for a timeout, and then
looks like they're waving it off.
They don't have any timeouts. They can't call a timeout.
Can't wave it off. They've got to kick this one. Pretty important kick in this young season.
Huge extra point.
Good snap, good hold. Kick looks good. We've got a tie. And we've got another classic battle between the Wadsworth Grizzlies and the Hudson Explorers as they knot it up at 21 with 37 seconds to go.
And Joe, that just shows you the strength of this Wadsworth program. They return 1 starter on offense and 1 starter on defense. Go 8-2 last season. Looks like it's going to be a rebuilding year for them this year. And all of a sudden, they get down to 2nd and 34 yards to go in the winding moments of the game, and they come up big and tie it up. Just shows you what kind of class program they have. And also tying this game up with 37 seconds just shows you how great of a rivalry this has been.
Oh, absolutely. I don't think records matter much in this one. I don't think much matters. These are just 2 highly conditioned, football teams with terrific character that just are not going to give up. I'll tell you what, the Explorers are not going to bend down and put the ball down on one knee and say, let's go for overtime. I think they're going to use their 37 seconds to try to win the football game.
Got to be careful of an onside kick here, too.
Oh, it's always a thought, but I think that Wadsworth would be better served to kick it down there as deep as they can and not give the Explorer offense an opportunity to move the football a great deal.
And it does look like that Coach Narducci does have his good hands team out in front just in case. Holden's up along the front line. Couple of their backup wide receivers are out there.
Back deep for the Explorers are Matt Urbanek and
he may have a couple of the
Mike Johnson.
A couple of the good hands people. Case.
Yeah, I'm seeing more 30s and 80s and 40s up along the front line rather than 70s and 60s. So I think you're right about that.
See if maybe they'd a squib kick or something.
Yeah,
and that's what it is, and it hit Holden.
I'll tell you what, the Explorers recover ball on the 44-yard line and a couple of good long pass plays, and Phil Dicer does have a good strong arm, and the Explorers can try to kick a field goal here to win this.
Joe, that was number 89 that came up with that ball after it went right through the legs of Josh Holden.
So Eli Shibley comes up big once again, falling on the ball for the Explorers.
Maybe this is what's going to happen for the Hudson Explorers this year. The ball's just going to bounce their way. Who knows, last year maybe that ball bounces the other way and Wadsworth comes up with it. This year it looks like things might be different.
The Explorers, the pitch to Holden. Pretty decent gain on the play. The Explorers do have some timeouts as they unpile it.
Gonna go
ball just short of the stripe.
Going with a quick huddle here. Seconds. Sideline pass. He's going to get out of bounds real quick.
And he's able to get out of bounds, and the officials are stopping the clock. 12 seconds to go in this one, and the Explorers are making that last big drive to avoid overtime. Into the ball game comes Beckley.
Now they're going to air it out here, Joe?
Looks like it as he keeps Tim Ryan in the game, another wide out. Beckley comes down here to the left. Ryan at the top of the screen. The backs are split. Looks like they're going to try to throw one or two up. Roll a lot of pressure for Dysert. Dysert looking around, throws the big one. He throws it out of bounds. The Explorers are going to have one more crack before overtime as there's 4 seconds to go.
And with 4 seconds left to go, you're pretty much there in overtime in the face. Be interesting to see what the coach does here. Maybe go with a draw play to Holden, see if he can break it. At least, you keep the ball on the ground. Because you never know, with an interception, they could run it back all the way.
Absolutely. I believe into the game, Jeff Panhorst and Josh Derryberry.
Well, they might even take a knee.
Tim Ryan checking out. And it's a tight formation for the Explorers. Give to Holden over the left side. Holden cuts back.
Fumble.
Holden fumbles the ball away, goes out of bounds. We've got overtime. After an exciting 4 quarters of play, the Hudson Explorers and the Wadsworth Grizzlies are knotted at 21 apiece.
And both teams leave to their respective sidelines to a standing ovation by all the fans here, both on the Hudson side and on the Wadsworth side. They've seen a beauty tonight. Joe, being down here on the sideline, I've noticed that since it's cooling off a little, the ground is a little wet. It seems it has changed the traction from the 4th quarter on and now into overtime. We'll see what a big part that plays in overtime. As you saw Holden slip a little on that last play too.
Yes, I did see that as well.
And another thing, it's cold down here.
Well, we're still pretty warm up in the booth.
Must be nice.
Well, we'll send the captains up and both teams get the toss of the coin. I would suspect that given the opportunity, the Explorers are going to want the ball first. and put the ball in the end zone and put the pressure on the Grizzlies. Of course, for those of you who haven't seen high school football overtime, the ball is placed on the 20-yard line, and it's 1st and 10 for whichever team goes on offense first, the first team, and then they have an opportunity to score. And regardless of what happens, the opposing team then gets the ball on the 20-yard line in a 1st and 10.
Yeah, no sudden death in high school football.
No, there is not a sudden death. Either team has that opportunity. Some big decisions the coaches have to make from time to time is if you have a 4th down inside field goal range, you kick the field goal and then play defense to hope, in hopes that your defense can stop the other team from scoring, or do you play that 4th down for a touchdown? Do you choose to go on defense first, stop your opponent, and then come back on offense and have a situation where a field goal or a touchdown can win? So the decisions that both coaches have to make right now are very important, and knowing their teams probably is the most important thing that either coach can do right now, because if they know the character of the team's strengths and weaknesses, they can make some good decisions with regard to overtime and overtime situations.
Well, Joe, I'm going to make you put on your coaching hat here again. If you're Hudson Explorer coach Tom Narducci, what do you do here? If I'm him, I feel that my defense has been stopping them, and I want to put my defense on the field first since the offense has been struggling a little bit. Make the defense stop them. We have the ball second, and now we know what we need to do. If we stop them, if we gave up a score, now my offense would know what to do having the ball second.
I think I'd probably take the football if I have the opportunity to take it and put the pressure on their defense and the pressure on their team first. But I think either call could be the right call if your team has the character that you want it to have in that situation. And the officials are identifying that it's time for that coin toss, I believe. Certainly this is something that both coaches have practiced with their teams. This will not be a surprise to either team, I don't believe, because these are both very fine and well-prepared coaches, and certainly they've thought through all of these different scenes and scenarios, and that's why they're on the sideline and we're up here in the booth. Here come the Hudson captains. Matt Jones, number 31. Tom Enright, number 81. Josh Holden, number 9. And Mike Zuka, number 61. The officials are explaining the overtime procedures to the captains of the teams.
The season.
Boy, what an exciting way to open the season. There's not a soul who's left the over at Eastwood Elementary School. There's a dance for high school students, kind of a sock hop after the game dance that's supposed to begin right after this ball game ends and only go till 11 o'clock. I look at my watch, it's already past 10, so that's going to be one short dance this evening.
Might not get over there by 11 o'clock.
And we've had the toss. Hudson will have the football. Wadsworth chose to go on defense. Hudson will have the first opportunity with the football from the 20-yard line. Scott, do you get a sense down on the sideline that the Explorers are confident and ready?
Yes, I do. The whole sideline is cheering for their offense. Excuse me, they're cheering for them, trying to get them going, getting them fired up. Now you hear the crowd getting into it.
Well, we certainly have a test of Hudson Explorer football maturity here, as quarterback Phil Dysert's going to have to lead this team from the 20-yard line.
Ooh, sacked immediately.
Ripping right through there was big number 56 for the Grizzlies, Ryan Finn, and Ryan has had an outstanding football game tonight. The Explorers have had a difficult time tackling him or blocking him.
Wadsworth was just coming from all sides on that play.
The Hudson offense coming to the line of scrimmage. Wadsworth pinning their ears back. Motion with Holden. And Dysert gets one knocked down somewhere in the middle of the Grizzly defensive line, unable to catch the number.
It's number 89, Chris Brink.
Number 89, Chris Brink. The guy who knocked the ball down. Big Chris, 6'3" and 200 pounds. Certainly got his big hands up in the air, and the Explorers are faced with a 3rd down and long in his first overtime period.
Here's something we haven't seen from the Hudson offense a whole lot tonight. Maybe seen it once or twice, is play action. And it seems to have been working. When the defense has been keying on Holden, the play action's been working.
Again, Holden goes in motion. Roll by Dysert. Into the end zone goes the ball, out of bounds, incomplete. Hudson looking at a 4th down. 15 yards to go. Here comes Jason Panhorst walking back onto the field, or jogging back onto the field to Phil Dysert.
Looked like Wadsworth had the way I was thinking in mind, put the Hudson offense on the field first and know what your offense has to do.
And thus far, it's been a terrific decision for the Wadsworth coaching staff. Reverse. Enright makes the corner. He's pursued, and he's going to go down right about the 20-yard line, and the Wadsworth offense is going to have an opportunity here to put the ball in the end zone.
Wadsworth offense definitely has a little momentum going with that nice comeback drive with what they scored with under 2 minutes to go, and they were set up with a 2nd and 34. Now they feel they can move on them.
Perry Morton in the huddle for the Explorers calls the defensive signals.
And Marino is back in the game. He is a deep man in the eye.
And here comes the Grizzlies. Give to Marino. Breaks the tackle inside the 15-yard line down to the 12.
Shibley was the first to hit him and hold him. Going to be spotted about 3 yards short of a 1st down.
Right now it appears that the Wadsworth kicker can make a field goal from this distance. We've got a, looks like an equipment timeout. As Hudson's number 70, Eddie Wagner, comes off the field. He's replaced by 81, Tom Enright. Give to number 24, nice play. Couldn't catch the number, Scott. Were you able to see down there?
It was just about everybody over there that got him.
Okay, Dave Lance on the carry, and
he was swarmed under.
It looks like Tom Enright is getting credit for that tackle. So he was the guy who replaced Ed Wagner, comes up with a big play, about a 4-yard loss, and Wadsworth is looking at a 3rd down, about 5 yards to go.
Look out, Marino.
Give to Marino. Marino inside the 10, inside the 5. He's dragging ball carrier tacklers with him. Finally pushed back and knocked down right at the 5-yard line. Now Wadsworth has got 4 chances to either put it in the end zone or kick the field goal.
There were 2 guys that really hit and stood him up. Eli Shibley was one of them, and number 41, can't really see his name.
Number 41, Matt Urbanic.
Urbanic just met him at about the 8-yard line and got driven straight back, able to hold him up and wait for help.
Power I formation for the Grizzlies now, probably with some kind of blast play.
It's worked twice for him with the same
Give
man.
to Lance. Lance
into the end,
zone.
Fumble. He fumbled the ball.
Fumble. Oh, they've signaled touchdown. Must have fumbled once he crossed the plane of the end zone.
It was
and
close.
that's going to be the ball game here this evening. The comeback victory for the Wadsworth Grizzlies in overtime over the Hudson Explorers, 27-21. And once again, the Explorers are met with a heartbreaker in a loss here in OT.
Well, that's the end of the ball game, folks, and what a comeback for the Grizzlies. In overtime, Wadsworth wins it 27-21. Hudson struck first in the second half. On a pass play to make the score 21-7, they were up 2 touchdowns. Then Wadsworth started their comeback. Lance, with a 5-yard run, made the score Hudson 21, Wadsworth 14. Then, in the final minute of the second half, 2 catches by Copeland, and as he ran out of bounds to stop the clock twice, and he set up the play for Wadsworth to pass the ball and tie the game at 21. We go into overtime, tied at 21, and Wadsworth holds Hudson from scoring. Then Wadsworth gets the ball and does a tremendous job of running the ball into the end zone and winning the game 27-21. What a great game for the Grizzlies. Just an all-around great game. Number 9, Holden for Hudson, was absolutely everywhere on the ground with the ball. And both these teams should be commended for a tremendous first game of the season. Now, we at WCTV will be back next week at Cuyahoga Falls as the Grizzlies will look to go 2-0 against a very tough Black Tigers team. So I'd like to thank Ken Buck tonight for running the camera on our sideline reports. We thank Hudson Community Television for videotaping the game for us. And for WCTV, I'm John Bernard. We'll see you next week from Cuyahoga Falls. Once again, the final score, Wadsworth 27, Hudson 21. So long, everybody.